Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Grason, this is Tech With Me, and today I've got my MacBook with me, and this video is going to be a little bit different than what you might be used to. Well, at least coming from me. See, this video is not scripted at all, which is a little bit different because I usually do script mine, but today we're going rogue. We're going to create a gaming mouse tier list. And I want you guys to let me know down below if y'all agree with it. So with that being said, I've got it loaded up here. Gaming tech brands. So here's the deal. I was looking for one that was specifically mice, but that was not an easy thing to accomplish because they didn't label the mice. So what did that do? Well, there were some mice, I just didn't know what they were. And I'm not going to say that I know every mouse in the world because I don't. And I definitely don't want to sell myself as someone who does. So we're going to do brands. And I think that's fair. So starting off on this tier list, we've got a couple different brands. Some of these I'm familiar with. And actually, once again, some of these I'm not. But let's get started. One thing I really like about this tier list that I chose is that instead of like the standard, it goes S, R, G, and B. Then at the end, there's just RGB. So I don't really know why. RGB is great. Why is RGB at the end? I don't know. So let's start off with the ROG one. I like ROG. I like Asus and I like Asus ROG, but I didn't know that they made mice. So we're gonna have to pull up their website and validate that because all I'm really gonna be able to go off of is shape and how they look. So here we are on Asus's website and I'm going to try to search through their products to see. I didn't know that they made mice. I've never seen an Asus gaming mice, but here it is, mice and mouse pads. And that honestly is kind of cool. I really like that it's got the two blue buttons kind of as a highlight. It's interesting. Ergonomic, right-handed. And then they've got wireless and ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Is it what? I mean, these are kind of cool. They're basically just basic mice. I don't really see anything special about it. This one's 54 grams, which isn't bad. 59, which is, I would say, a little heavy for a wired mouse, but it's still on the lighter side of things, so it's no issue at all. But I do really like this ROG. Is it Harp? I don't know how they want to pronounce it, but like this white and blue, I might have to pick one of these up. Ooh, but it's 130 bucks. That's a little hefty for an Asus mouse. I don't know. 130 bucks just for a really clean white and blue, and I've not heard a whole lot about Asus mice. I don't know. Apparently you can get it on Best Buy though. And it looks like Best Buy has this Asus mouse on sale for $109, which isn't actually too bad, but unfortunately it looks like it doesn't come in the white color if you get it from them. It has to be black, which is fine. I don't mind having black mice, but I really do like how the white and blue looks, so I might have to bookmark this. So what about their right-handed ergonomic mice? 79 grams, 75. That's about average for an ergonomic mouse, I would say, but they're kind of ugly. This Eva edition one is pretty cool. Evangelion. I like that. 120 bucks, I don't know though. I don't know about that much, but it's actually surprising. I didn't know that is ugly. The eagle eye, that is ugly. I'm gonna take it because specifically the white and blue one, I'm gonna put them on there, but I'm gonna put them third from the top. I'm gonna make them a G. And guys, I just want to put out here, I think I'm just gonna do the brands that I know, like this A4 Tech at the bottom left. No idea who they are. Ayla, no idea about them. Let's skip the ones we don't know. And if it's a brand I know, like in the case of Asus, right? I didn't know them as far as mice goes, but I'm familiar with them. We'll look into them. But yeah, we're gonna skip the ones that we really don't know. And next up is Alienware. I'm gonna make those RGB. That I don't even have to pull them up. I know that they're not necessarily bad, but way overpriced, and I could get a much better mouse for my money. And then Corsair. Well, Corsair is actually a little bit easy as well. I would honestly probably put them R tier, but let's pull up some of their options. So here we are, we're on Corsair's website, we're looking at their mice, and here's the thing about Corsair mice. I like the way a lot of them look, or at least I did before I got into more like lightweight mice, but back when I preferred the ergonomic mouse, Corsair was awesome. I really like the way that they were shaped. I like the way that they look. They look really cool a lot of the time. But what I find is they're actually really uncomfortable and they don't feel accurate. Now, I'm not saying that their sensor is bad and I'm not saying that they aren't accurate, but they always felt like, I don't know, a little, like just a little laggy. And a lot of them are really heavy. But yeah, this is standard Corsair that I'm seeing here. They look really cool, but they also kind of look uncomfortable, but also comfortable at the same time. Corsair mice I always felt like were a little wider than I wanted them to be. So it was just kind of in between my fingers, a little uncomfortable, but Corsair's not a bad brand. I love Corsair stuff. I used to be a huge fan of Corsair keyboards and I still like them. So yeah, I'm going to put them as R tier. They're not quite the best. They're not quite legendary, but they are good, and I would never knock somebody for having a Corsair mouse. So, and next, let's do Logitech. What do we think about Logitech? I already know the answer, but let's take a look at some of their options. So, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Without even pulling it up, let's be honest. The G502, the G Pro X Superlight, like these are legendary mice that everybody knows about. Like, without even pulling it up, we know that Logitech is S tier. Not only that, they're like the biggest mice company in the world. They might be the biggest manufacturer of mice. Don't check me on that because I'm probably incorrect. But like, even if you just go to Walmart and you just need like a $10 wireless mouse, not even for gaming or anything, you're probably gonna get a Logitech, and it's actually gonna be pretty good for 10 bucks. But look, I mean, they've got their new G502X. I've been meaning to try this one. It's basically a revamp of their 502 series, and they're supposed to be pretty good. A little heavy, but it's not meant to be a super light mouse. Their Pro X, you know, as always, comes in red, it comes in pink, it comes in white, black. You know, it's a classic. It's a good mouse. I had one for a little bit. I didn't hate it, but I did prefer my finalmouse, so I just kind of stuck with it. But yeah, I mean, Logitech is Logitech. We know what they have. Their mice are all really good. I like this color. I might have to look into getting one of those. But yeah, easy decision, S tier. So next we have Aorus, which is actually Gigabyte's gaming brand, or one of their gaming brands. And I have a feeling it's gonna end in the same boat as the Asus ROG because, well, I just wasn't aware that Gigabyte made peripherals. Now, I'm sure that they're okay. I actually used to be a huge Gigabyte fan, and I know that they've kind of dropped a lot, not just in popularity, but even just recognition. But my very first graphics card, my 1060 back in the day, was a Gigabyte, and to this day, it's still working and still running. So yeah, we go to products and they've got PC peripherals, but I've never really heard about them, so it can't be, yeah, I mean, just run-of-the-mill. This is run-of-the-mill gaming mice, you know. This one's got mega RGB, this one a little bit less RGB, but it almost seems like they're just kind of taking Razer's designs a little bit. You know, this Aorus M6 kind of reminds me a little bit of the Viper. It's not exact, but it does remind me of it. The M5 over here is very Death Adder-ish to me, and maybe it's just because of the front, but it's got that feeling. M3, I don't know, it looks familiar. Maybe that one's more Death Adder-ish. I don't know. I think this is a clear call, guys. Gigabyte, nobody even knew that you made peripherals, so you're going to be an easy RGB, which still don't know what that is intended to mean. It's gotta be the worst, but I love RGB, so I don't know. So the next one is Legion, and if you're not familiar with Legion, you might be familiar with Lenovo. Legion is just their gaming brand. Now, once again, I didn't know they made peripherals. I probably should have checked this list a little bit more thoroughly than I did before making this video, but let's check it out. Let's see what they got. What? There's no X. They've trapped me. I've got to give them my info. Oh, there's a decline offer button. My bad. Where are they've got monitors. Now, I have seen some of their gaming monitors before, and they're not bad, but here we go. Accessories, headsets, mice, keyboard, Xbox. There must be accessories for an Xbox, not a Lenovo Xbox. That would at least make sense. Oh, and all of their gaming mice work with Chromebooks. If you're gaming on a Chromebook, you are definitely probably not using a gaming mouse. All of these look bad. I mean, like, even like, I can't even show it because it keeps going to this picture. Just look at like the USB plug-in. Like, even it just looks cheap. And to be fair, these are $20 mice, 30 max, but they don't look good. Logitech. Whoa. I thought we were looking at Lenovo. Their M500, kind of, oh, that actually doesn't look comfortable. It looks like it's way too thin when you grip it. This is, so Lenovo just sells a bunch of other gaming brands on their website to go with their computers, which is fair. I mean, some of these are good brands, and if you need a mouse to go with it, I guess they understand that you're probably not going to buy theirs unless apparently you're looking for a butt. Well, the M500 I just noticed is $60, so maybe not a budget option. But who knows? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it. Ooh, but they got Lenovo financing. $4 a month for this M200. We might have to make it happen, but Lenovo, I'm sorry, my guys. Y'all have some good gaming laptop, but I'm gonna put you B tier. And here's the thing, guys. I know that this is supposed to be judging the brands themselves. I'm putting Lenovo as B tier, not because of their mice, but because they made the smart decision to sell other brands on their website. That's big brain, Lenovo. I appreciate that. And now we're gonna do Razer. Hey, Razer's easy. You guys know I am a shill. I am a Razer shill. They're gonna be S tier, but let's look and see what they got. Mobile gaming is now hardcore, and then it's just Among Us and Fortnite. The Razer Cobra Pro, I'm not familiar with that mouse. I kind of like it. It's almost like a mixture between the Death Adder and the Viper together. At least to me, that's what it looks like. Oh, their mini signature. If you haven't seen this mouse, it is beautiful. Their Viper Mini, but the signature edition, instead of doing the standard honeycomb, it has the triangles. It's pretty. My little brother actually got his hands on one of these, and he's offered to let me borrow it if I wanted to make a video on it. So what do you guys think? Should I make one? Let me know. Their baskless, dude, their baskless is a classic. If you like ergonomic mice, you'll love this mouse. It's a little heavy, but it's comfortable. Not a huge fan of MMO mice, but Naga, well known. And then their Death Adder. Like, let's be honest, the Death Adder is like the #1 first gaming mouse that people tend to get. Or at least I feel like it is. So then we've got HP Omen. I'm not even gonna pull them up. Now, their new like HP Omen gaming laptops, some of their monitors and stuff are pretty good, but HyperX, hey, nothing wrong with HyperX. I'm not a huge HyperX fan, not for any reason in particular. I've just never really used them. But I've got a lot of friends who really like them. SteelSeries as well, we'll do them next, but nothing wrong with HyperX, but whew, looks like HyperX is now in the truly wireless earbud market. Hey, easy as no. Yeah, I mean, let's just say it, right? Like, they're pulse fire, good shape, not super heavy. They've got the lightweight version in the white. It's RGB, pretty clean. I like it. There's nothing wrong with HyperX. I just, personally, I'm not a big fan of them. I think HyperX is a little boring when it comes to accessories myself. That doesn't make them bad. I just, you know, they're not for me. But hey, I will definitely put them at G tier because they are a pretty good value for your money, but they're not quite like legendary, I wouldn't say myself. They're also just not necessarily a brand I would buy, so R tier is kind of out of the question. Hey, we said we'd do them next, and you know, we're kind of the same boat as HyperX, right? Like, everything SteelSeries, all I've got to say is it's kind of the same thing as HyperX to me. My best friend is a huge fan of SteelSeries. He uses all SteelSeries accessories, and there's nothing wrong with that. They are a good brand, and they're not as expensive as some other ones. I actually really like this Diablo 4 mouse. I might have to pick one of these up. That is kind of sick. But yeah, nothing wrong with SteelSeries. That's actually really cool. I would put them as a brand that I would buy. They're just not a brand I have in the past. Their shapes are nice. They've got some ultralight mice, which are good. Wireless, wired, RGB, whatever you need. Nothing wrong with SteelSeries. Like I said, I'll put them R tier because I've heard really good things. Same as HyperX, but there's actually a few of these SteelSeries mice that I would pick up myself. So what's next? Well, honestly, the only other brands I recognize here are thermaltake, Roccat, MSI, and Cooler Master. Roccat is really the only brand that is truly like an accessory brand. Some of these other brands have them. Cooler Master I know has some really good ones. Same with thermaltake, but they're really not that popular anymore, and they've never been like really popular like peripheral brands since I've been doing PCs and stuff. So we're gonna take a look at Roccat and MSI, and then we're gonna end it at that, because those are the brands that I still feel are like very popular and very much still like relevant. Not that like thermaltake and Cooler Master aren't, but when it comes to peripherals, I don't feel like they really are anymore, because Cooler Master still does a lot of like cooling stuff in cases, and all that stuff is great. Power supplies even, I believe, like all that stuff is genuinely great, but it's not really like a peripheral. And same thing with thermaltake, you know, same deal. They do a lot of those like inside of the case, inside the build peripherals, but not really like mice and keyboards. And I'm sure that they do because they're on the list, but we're gonna ignore it. What does MSI have? Right here, gaming mice. Let's load it up. It is easy to call it. It's just run of the mill. We're a gaming brand who makes computers, so let's throw some mice on there. MSI, easy RGB, you know, sorry, but it is what it is. Moving on to Roccat, let's see what they have. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Oh, so Roccat mice are a brand I've heard really good things about. I've heard really good things about, and I've always intended to get one and give it a try, but I just haven't yet. Their shapes, like these two, I don't really like the shape of, but I do kind of like this under the plastic honeycomb, like RGB design. It looks nice. I genuinely like that. I want to try one of these Burst Pro Airs. That's probably going to be one of the next mice I get, especially for 70 bucks. Their prices are really good. Yeah, I mean, just scrolling through here is kind of the same thing, you know. Their keyboards, they do have some, like, I really like their Magma RGB keyboards. I know this is about like mice. I mean, I guess the tier list is just brands. This video was meant specifically to be about mice, but just kind of look at their Magma keyboard, right? Like the RGB just on the entire base of the keyboard is kind of sick. I want to get one of those, but I think that it's only like membrane, not mechanical, so that kind of gets knocked out of the park. So Roccat, where are we gonna put them? I think G, probably G tier. You know what? I take that back. No, let's leave them G tier. G tier is probably exactly where they belong because I've never tried them and I want to. Although to be fair, SteelSeries I never tried, and I want to, and I placed them R tier. This is a lot harder than it seems. I'm gonna leave them G tier because as much as I want to try them and plan on it, I have never actually bought one. And I've known about this brand for like 2 years. I just found out about them 2 years ago, and I know that they've been around longer, and I've just still never bought anything. So G tier it is. So yeah, that's it guys. This is our tier list. I've placed all these other brands as RGB, any of them that I don't know. Why? Because if I've never heard about them, they can't actually be that great. At least I hope not. I hope I don't get roasted in the comments. But guys, here's our tier list. We've got Logitech and Razer as S tier. They're legendary. Of course they're going to be S tier. Corsair and SteelSeries is R tier. I've had Corsair stuff. I love their products. SteelSeries has some good stuff that I'm open to buying. I just haven't. G series, right in the middle. G tier, right in the middle. Republic of Gamers, Asus. I love them. I love their stuff. I don't really see a whole lot about their peripherals, and they didn't look that great. HyperX, kind of the same thing. I've heard a lot about them, but it's a little boring. Roccat, why are they G tier? Well, you guys just heard it. I love their stuff, or at least I love some of their stuff, the way it looks, but I've never tried it, and as much as I intend to, there's a good chance I never will. B and RGB kind of speak for themselves, right? Thermaltake, Cooler Masters, legendary brands, but peripherals aren't super relevant anymore. The Legion stuff, they have a lot of like OEM, just standard great value brand looking mice, but they were smart enough to add on other brands, which is genius. The last few, well, I either don't know them or their stuff just doesn't look good. That's all it is. So there's our tier list, guys. What do you guys think, and how would you change it? What brands are S tier in your mind? I really want to know. Let me know down below. Thank you guys very kindly for watching. My name's Grayson. This has been Tech with me. Bye.